What's up, guys? Alright, so this video is gonna be a little different. Alright, so if you trade NQ, ES, gold, or whatever, right, you would have heard this term called the ORB strategy, the ORB strategy, right? Opening range breakout. Now, it's actually a very simple concept, right? What is this concept? Basically, there's two things that people do, right? They mark the high of the range, they mark the low of the range, right? And then let's say the price is here, they wait for price to break one side of it, retest, and then they take the trade. Cool. Same thing is true for the bottom, right? They wait for price to break, retest, and then they take a sell trade. That's essentially what op strategy is. Cool. But here's the problem. I don't want to trade every op breakout. Because why? If you do trade op, you would have realized that why does sometimes my op wins, sometimes it doesn't, right? Because there's, although it works, right, every strategy works, but there will always be the losing factor of a strategy. So what you can do is create an edge for it. Now this is where VORTEX model come into play, right? I created the Mario VORTEX model. If you guys want to check it out, you guys can check it out. All right, so essentially the idea of orb is going to be there, right? But how we're going to trade it is going to be combined with the Mario VORTEX model. So if you want to learn more about the Mario VORTEX model and you want to join the VIP Discord, the link is below. Go down, click, apply for it. I think it's just $50 a month for now until I decide to pull the price back up, right? So if you lock the price in now, you're just gonna get it for $50 a month for lifetime, right? So every month you just pay $50, even when the price goes up, right? So yeah, it's a good deal, and you'll learn a lot of things about the VORTEX model, and you can basically use the VORTEX model for anything. And if you are creative enough, you can use it for your own strategy, right? Because essentially it's like entry model that I'm gonna show you guys again. And if you guys don't want to join the VIP, there's the video of the VORTEX model in my YouTube. You can just check it out for free. You can watch all my recap videos, and it's enough to get you guys going actually. All right, so without further ado, let's go straight into it. All right, so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to a random date. All right, random date. I'm gonna go back a little. Where shall we go? This is August. All right, let's go to 7 August because it looks very messy, right? It looks up and down, up and down. So let's go to 7 August at 9:30. Nice. So this is when 9:30 started. New York session open 9:30 a.m. New York time. All right, mine shows PM because my UTC is +8. So yeah, go to New York time 9:30, market open. So this candle 9:30 candle 9:30 to 9:45, right? This is where the candle is open. So essentially, you guys know op. If you guys don't know what is an op strategy, please go and check out other YouTube videos. All right, it's basically the range high and range low. So on this case, I'm on the 15-minute time frame. All right, for me, this is simple. I'm just gonna mark the first 15 minute 9:30 to 9:45 the candle. Right, this one. I'm gonna mark the high and the low. Now this one I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna wait for a break and retest and then take a buy or sell. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna look at bias, right? Because yeah, ultimately knowing your bias is good, but that's not what I'm gonna do that. All right. So what am I gonna do? Simple. I'm gonna open a chart on the right. All right. So again, on the left, right? What just happened? Okay, on the left, it's NQ. On the right, it's ES. Okay, cool. Let me get rid of this fair value gap so it's easier for you to see. Okay, and the PO3. All right, so it's easier for you to see because I don't know why my recording just became blurry, right? So I hope I can show it to you guys properly. So yeah, we mark the high and low. If you want to trade on ES or gold, please backtest it before you go into it. All right. So I'm showing you on NQ because I trade NQ, right? So you mark the high and low. Next thing you're gonna wait for either a sweep or a break. All right, either thing works, right? Now you see a sweep to the top, you see a sweep to the bottom. What do you do now if this kind of thing happens, right? Simple, just wait and look. Do you have SMT to the top? No, I don't. Do I have SMT to the bottom? Yes, I do. Right? Where's my SMT? From this to this, it's going down. Whereas from this to this is going up, this to this is going down. Cool. Now, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to the 1 minute, right? Simply wait for a CISD. If you don't know what's a CISD, it's basically if it's going down, you want to buy, right? So you want to see the last up move before the down move. The body of it is the CISD. All right. I'll show you an example. If we get one, all right. In this case, right, see, it made a new lower low, but this was the last up move before the down move was created, right? So the body of this, right, would be my CISD. That's how it works. So if you guys don't know what's a CISD, please go and check out what is CISD on YouTube. There's a lot of videos out there, right? And trust me, it will help you guys a lot. So right now, what do you see? Our SMT is going downwards, right? So that means we are losing the SMT. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait for another SMT then. In this case, yes, cool, I have an SMT, right? If you can see on the left, it's going down, and on the right, it's going up. So basically, one swept, one didn't. Cool. Now, I'm going to ask you something. If this is how normally op works, right? What do? They break, retest, right? And then they sell. But would you get the RR that you want? I don't know, right? Because this is how I use op, and feel free to use it the way I use it, right? So now I'm watching how price reacts around this area, because why? I have an SMT, I have a breakout, right? But I'm looking for things that VORTEX requires before I actually participate. I don't just, like what I said, break and retest, I take a trade. I don't do that, right? So let me explain the broad concept, right? Because this is where breakout starts making sense within my overall market read, right? Now I've got the direction. Okay, it's going down, right? Since it's going down, it broke down below. I have an SMT that shows me the price wants to go up, right? Now we are putting logical puzzles into it. What is the logical thing that you're gonna do? You're gonna buy, right? Because logically, market just told me it's gonna go up. Now I got a confirmation, right? That it's going up. Okay, now I'm interested. So what am I gonna look for? Again, as I said, CISD. Do I have CISD? What's the last down move? This, right? This is my last swing low. This is my swing high. What's the last up move? Right? It's this. So this up move is going to be my CISD. So when price comes back to retest this, right, I'll just put it a little bit above, right? Stops below this. Usually if it's above, I mean for NQ especially, if it's above 60 points, I don't take the trade. But for the sake of just showing it, I don't know if this is going to play out, but for the sake of showing it, it should play out. But as I said, for the sake of showing it, I'm just going to show it. All right, so this is where I would have entered. I will wait for a retest, which I hope we get. Not yet. To the T, man. To the T. All right, so we got a retest there. All right, going up. So usually you can just go break even wherever you feel like going, right? For me, I'll just 1:1, I go break even, or sometimes I go depending on where I want to go, right? And if you can look at it, you can even aim for, I was about to say you can aim for the top range, but yeah, you get a 1:2 and you're done for the day, right? So that is one trade. Now let's see if we get the same trade the next day, because as you guys know, right, not a strategy works, right, but it doesn't work every single day, right? That is called a strategy. That is a strategy, because if a strategy works every single day, then everyone will be millionaires and billionaires, right? So yeah, strategy works, but how it works, that is totally up to you on whether you are consistent or not, right? So let's go again. Next day, 9:30. So this is the 9:30 to 9:45 candle. What we're gonna do, same thing, 15-minute high, 15-minute low, right? And what are we gonna do right now? We're gonna wait for either a sweep or a break. Cool, I have a break, right? I have a break. Do I have an SMT? Yes, I do. I have an SMT. One is going down, one is going up. So one swept, one didn't, right? NQ did not swept. Yes, swept. Next move, what is it? Market just told me, bro, I'm going up. But actually, the overall price or the higher price is telling me I'm going down. Now, those who trade ops, what would they do? Break, retest. Cool, I'm buying here, right? They will buy the retest here. They maybe put their stop loss around here. And then maybe they aim for a 1:2, right? Nice. They aim a 1:2. Let's see what happens. price goes down, right? I honestly don't even know what's gonna happen, but let's just say the price goes down or up. Cool, price goes down, right? So why did it reverse? No, I thought ORB is supposed to break and retest, blah 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 blah, right? Cool. Now, what would I have done, right? So I had the SMP, right? Next move, what is the next move? We're gonna find basically the last down move, which was this, right? Why is this the last down move? Because we're selling, right? So we got to look at the down move. So when you're selling, we're going to look at the last body of the down candle. And when we are buying, we're going to look at the last up body candle's body. You get what I mean, right? If you don't understand, just rewatch these two examples that I'm giving. So again, I already know that it played out. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through it with you because this is the last swing high, right? We had a swing high, went down a little, and then we have another swing high. So this, I consider this as my body, right? So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wait for a break, right? Now I have a break. Now you may ask, oh, we have another swing high. Cool, but the swing low still remains, right? Because this is the lowest point. Now we have a break. Do we have a retest though? Alright, cool. Stop there. Aim 1:2. Alright. Do we have a retest? We have a retest right there, right? Now, 1:2, right? We already hit a 1:2. You might want to take out the partials and then maybe, just maybe, you want to aim all the way there. You want to be greedy, right? You want to aim all the way here. Now, I don't know whether it hit all the way here, but I know it hit somewhere here just now. But this would have been a 1:7, right? Let's see what happens. That would have been a break-even trade, right? If you never took out a 1:2, but still, you got a 1:2 though, right? But if let's say you are greedy, you don't hit, you don't even touch break-evens. Let's see what happens. Let's say you're just greedy and you're like, no, it should hit my range, blah blah blah, right? Honestly, I don't know if it hits, but let's just see. It's already like 3 a.m. I mean, if you ask me if it's worth it, nah, it's not worth it. Just take your profit, come back the next day. But definitely, I'm not gonna wait the whole time there. All right, cool. It hit actually. Nice. It actually hit. I'm genuinely surprised also. But yeah, 1:7, guys. If you trade it like with 1k raise, that's 7k in a trade. But yeah, again, I use VORTEX with ORB, right? So this is important. All right. Anything can happen with a strategy. You can still lose, but that doesn't mean you should jump away from the strategy or whatever, right? Just be consistent with it, practice it, master it, right? So if you remember one thing from this video, remember this, right? ORB is just a location. VORTEX gives you the context on where the market is going, all right, and then the confirmation is the confirmation as I showed you, right? The 1 minute entry. So remember, 15 minute SMT, 1 minute entry, done. All right. Then I wait for everything to just play out, right? So basically 1:1 I go break even, 1:2 I'm out, right? And obviously none of this means every ORB is going to work, as I said again and again and again. NQ can absolutely fake you out, right? So that's why it needs to be back tested. So please go and back test this. Don't just watch this video, draw a box on your chart tomorrow and start risking money, right? Go back, replay the market, test the rules, collect your data, all right? And what I've shown you today is just a concept, but VORTEX itself goes much deeper than what I can realistically show you on YouTube video. But what I showed you is enough to get you going, all right? Again, I am just going to mention this. Inside the VIP, I actually teach the actual framework in much more depth, right? The mechanics, the confirmation, the execution. What are the rules for the execution and all that, right? And we actually go through this stuff together, right? And as I said at the start of this video, the VIP is currently only $50 a month. I'm eventually going to move it back to $150. So if you're going to join while it's $50, you'll lock in that $50 price as long as you remain an active member, all right? So guys, that's how I use VORTEX with the ORB strategy. Don't just look at the breakout, look at the context around the breakout, all right? Because sometimes the best ORB trade is the one you don't take, all right? So trade well, and I'll see you in the next video, all right? Yeah, the market is always going to be there, but your capital might not. So trade well. Peace out.